Welcome to Malcolm Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcolm and Rochelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right podcast. I'm your host, Malcolm Reed, joined by my lovely and talented wife, Miss Southern Shell. Shell, how are you today?
Good. Great.
Good. We've got a special guest with us today, Mr. Mark Williams.
I don't know about special.
I know. I agree. I was excited.
It's the old regular, old stand-in, Mark Williams. Mark, how are you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. You got me up here early today, but we're good.
That's right. We got to get this podcast in for the week. And we got man Tyler on the boards and running the computer. So, Tyler, you good, man?
I'm doing fantastic as long as y'all are.
Hey, I'm always doing good. It's been a good week here. April Fools. We've went through that. I went vegan for a day. How was that? Y'all believe that, right? I look like a vegan.
I love how you drank the Truly while you were cooking the vegan sandwich.
I figured you had to get this. If you're going to cook Impossible meat, you had to get the
Impossible beer.
Impossible beverage in too. The only step down from that would have been like, what's it, the non-alcoholic, the O'Doul's. Do they still make O'Doul's?
Yes.
O'Doul's. And didn't Miller have one like a NA or something? Or somebody used to have one. Non-alcoholic. You ever tried one of those, Mark?
Hadn't tried one of them. That kind of defeats the purpose.
Me too. I'm not drinking it for the taste of it. Like, oh, I just like that beer taste. I don't want the effect. God, that's a fool. If you got problems, if you got to drink,
I know several people that drink
non-alcoholic beer.
O'Doul's.
I just like the way it tastes.
Yeah.
No, it's because they drink 6 of them, and it's like drinking one beer, so they're still getting a taste. Might as well just pound a Bud Heavy or something.
Rotate them out so you feel like you can go longer.
I know. That's what I need to do.
Put one in every once in a while.
Yeah.
Now, you probably fool me after I was, 4 or 5 in a bucket,
We need to do that to somebody. Just give them a bunch of NAs and be like, oh, man.
Yeah. Michelle, what's going on? What do we got to touch base on first before we get to talking to Mark about what's happening?
The first thing I want to talk about, going to talk about it all the time, is the Palmer Home fundraiser. We have set a date for our VIP experience.
Oh.
If you become a fundraiser for us, the top 5 fundraiser gets 2 tickets to our VIP experience. Let me read you what I
Yeah,
I wrote.
tell me about this VIP experience.
It's not a class. It's an experience.
Okay, I like that. It's not a class.
I don't know if I want to participate in helping with this or not. Where's this going?
You don't want to be part of the experience.
May not be.
We'll walk you through several barbecue recipes step by step. We'll share every little tip and trick we know, and we'll answer all the questions you can throw at us just like a regular class. But you'll also eat full plates of food instead of sample boats. Come to the How to Barbecue Right headquarters and have a comfortable chair, a table in front of you, elbow room, air conditioning, heat, whatever the day requires. We'll have your favorite drinks cold and ready for you, and we'll transport you back from your hotel back and forth.
So you don't have to drive.
Yeah, we're going to roll out the red carpet. We're going to cook our favorite recipes.
Yeah, it's going to be, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make it to where it's the stuff that we like to cook all the time and show people how we do it our way.
You can't buy a ticket to it. It's only going to be the top 5 fundraisers and a guest of theirs, so 10 people tops.
How are we doing on the fundraiser?
Saturday, August 4th. I hadn't checked it this morning, but it'll be Saturday, August 4th, and I'm going to announce
August 4th?
Yes.
I thought it was September.
Ooh, let me check that.
Yeah, because we're going till September, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
That don't work,
month
Jill.
short. Pretty sure that's like
September.
probably close to Labor Day weekend.
It is.
So
It's
we're doing
September.
a Labor Day extravaganza experience.
Yes.
Man, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Get to go on a dove hunt, too.
Yeah, you might get to go on a dove hunt. How do you feel about guns?
Do you like eating dove breast? Hey, that could be right there. I mean, that's a delicacy.
It is. It really is. First
If it's
we gotta
done
have some
right.
birds.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be done right if we do it. We are having a big, that's what Michael wants for his birthday, is a dove shoot and cook. So we're going to do that.
We can make that happen.
So it's about time to start putting sunflowers in the ground. Won't be long.
I
away.
received an order of pig's feet in the mail yesterday.
I do not want, I don't know how
It
we
was
got on
leaking.
that. she come running in with this box, and I was like, "What is that? What's done busted?" She
Why does
said,
it
"Oh, you
smell
know
that
what
way?"
it is." I said, "No, I don't." She pulled it out.
Let me guess, FedEx brought it.
It was
through Amazon.
it's pretty disgusting. A jar of feet that are in some kind of pinkish, brackish looking water
With floating
floating
clobber.
nails and fat floating in it.
I was thinking whole feet. These are butterflied for your pleasure.
Oh man,
Like they are terrible looking.
I don't know if I can do it. I mean, if somebody, I know I can't get it out of that juice and go to try.
Oh, no.
It. It's gonna have to be on a plate, maybe some sauce or seasoning or something. There's just no way. I wanted to puke walking back there looking at it.
The first thing Tom
I've got a very,
You got to go in wrist deep,
what do you
Malcolm.
call it? A disposition? My disposition?
No, you have a weak
You
stomach.
have a very weak stomach.
Yeah, weak disposition. And if it comes to something like that, it's just the thought of it. It looks too much like biology class.
What's the first thing you
I
said
think of
to me,
fetal
Tyler?
pigs.
I was like, I can't do this anymore, y'all.
Yeah, did you back out too?
I did. They're like,
I don't
He
know.
said.
Shell pulled the trigger. I think we mentioned it last podcast. The next thing you know, she's done pulled it up and ordered a jar. And had
That
them
couldn't
come.
have been Amazon's choice. No way.
Yes.
It was.
I think they made him fresh. actually.
I don't know. It's pretty disgusting.
They did not get a mani or a petty before they put them in that jar.
Just looking at it. I mean, they could have. Surely they could have. I'd at least might have had the label up more where you can't see
Something.
what it is. Something. It looks bad.
Unrecognizable.
I've seen them all my life. I know people that ate them. People in my family eat them,
We're going to run that like a
but
contest.
not regularly.
Oh no, we're doing it next week.
Oh, no. We're going to put it in a jar
I'm
or
gonna
put it in a
have to
turn-in
have-
box. Got some parsley
I'm
for
gonna have to
bacon.
have at least a 40 or something before I can go to eat the pig's foot.
That's okay. We can get 40.
Is this
I
just
love it.
y'all three or is this the office?
Oh
Oh no,
I'm
you
doing
can be in
everybody.
on it too. If you're here, you're trying one.
I got a tickle in my throat.
You
whatever
think
day
Jamie will
that
try
is.
it? You think Jamie will try one?
Yeah.
Let's see.
No, he probably won't. I don't know. He might.
Yeah.
I'll go for it.
I mean, just bite it off the hoof. Like, you got to gnaw into it. There ain't no cutting it off and tearing it off.
All right.
You got to pick it up.
You name it, you got to do it now.
Oh, no, I don't know if I can do it. I'm going to be the one watching.
No.
Are you going to do it, Shell?
Yeah. I don't know about picking it up and gnawing it off the bone, but
If you
What
don't
if you
do
gotta
it,
do the
I'm going to eat it so
trifecta?
close to you where it feels like you're eating it. I'm going to
gotta-
make it so
You
bad.
got to eat a pig's foot, eat one of the pickled eggs out of the jar, and one of the red sausages that they got pickled too.
Hey, that could be the secret ingredient to the deviled egg contest.
Oh, no.
Shredded pig feet.
Oh, that's terrible. That'd probably been made a good April Fool's
You should have
Day
brought the
something,
jar back
too.
here. It could have made the podcast.
it
You-
will. We're not done with that jar.
I don't want to see it. It's too early.
Be on the story. It's like the first thing you see when you walk in the door when you get to the office. It's
Well,
great.
The
Yeah.
garbage can was
Come
a little
on
close
in.
to the door this morning, so I got hit with the garbage can. I walked in, there's the feet, and I'm like, 8 o'clock.
I want to see Katie try it. You think she'll try it?
I don't know.
Hmm.
So you did a burger this week. Your all-American cheeseburger.
I did. That was the recipe, the real recipe. We did the April Fools for the Impossible Burger, where How to Barbecue Right goes vegan. But I did my take on probably the classic burger that I've grew up cooking. It was basically a cheeseburger on a Weber grill, topped with my favorite toppings, bacon. Got to have bacon on it. Lettuce, tomato, pickle, mayonnaise, mustard. That doesn't get any more Americana than that to me. But yeah, I've cooked a lot of burgers on my time. Probably most of them been on the Weber kettle.
You didn't use any grill grates.
Nope. I did a 2-zone fire where I kind of start the burgers off to where they don't flame up too bad. And then as I get some of that fat rendering out of them, you move them closer to the fire and you get the char action on them. And I did my little butter trick where I put the thumbprint in it and put the butter. What did you tell me you do to burger?
Mayonnaise.
We put mayonnaise in the burger mix,
And
right?
you like mix it with the meat.
Hmm I
It
think
adds-
it's like a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons for every pound.
I hadn't tried that. But
And it'll take the cheapest ground beef, and you think you're eating Wagyu.
really,
Like,
Just
it's
'cause
so
it makes
good.
It fat.
Well, it changes the texture. I guess that oil, it makes it like super soft. I mean, it's a good burger.
Yeah, I gotta try that.
Yeah, I'll try that. And what
I
was
know
the
you would
ratio?
try that.
What's the ratio?
For normal people, it's a tablespoon to a pound. You might could do 50-50 on yours. I don't know. It might be all right.
Mayonnaise burger,
Yeah.
not on the bun, in the meat.
Oh, we had some ground Wagyu like trimmings left over from a brisket. Those
Man,
burgers,
You can't mess them up. You can cook it to 200 degrees and it's still,
Still
be juicy,
good.
Yeah.
but you can't really grill them.
Heck no. You better have some grill grates. You finna have
Oh
a
yeah,
fire.
yeah. No, they're better like
Smash
no
burger.
flips.
Yeah, no
smash
flip.
burger or something on a griddle. You put them over flames, and man, it's going up.
What is your favorite burger of all time, Mark?
I had that as a question too on mine.
I'm gonna have to go with like a mushroom Swiss with a good like horseradish mayo. That's so
Get fancy, Mark.
we done the little, I guess, prime rib inspired burger where I basted them with rosemary and garlic and everything, and then made a horseradish mayo, and we had onions and provolone and mushrooms. That's me. Add a pickle, it's there.
That is a steakhouse burger.
I draw like my standard burger is a Huey's burger from the Huey's. I guess it's what's the official name of Huey's? I just always call it Huey's, but
It's Huey.
is it Bar and Grill or?
I think it's Huey's burger
They're known.
restaurant.
They're known for their burgers. That's what you go to Huey's and get, and so it's my baseline. I judge every burger I have based on can it beat or is it as good as the Huey standard burger.
Yeah.
And I usually get it cooked medium. They use certified Angus beef there, and
They have a good seasoning.
they have a good burger seasoning they put on them, and they're char grilling them. They're not flat top cooked. It's just a char grilled standard dive bar burger.
And you're getting a piece of meat too.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a good piece of meat. But if I had to pick one that comes to mind always when I think of a good burger is Port of Call in New Orleans. That they have an awesome burger there. It's a big monster burger. And I don't know if it's just because it's in New Orleans and I love that town, or if it's because of the hurricanes and all the other stuff going on. But that Port of Call burger is one of the ones that's up there. But a second mention is that one you got over in Melbourne, Arkansas. That
Oh, the skirt burger?
God, that's a memorable
Man,
burger too.
That's a tough one too. That was the first time I've ever had a true skirt burger, and that cheese, you fold it back over on top of it, and it's like little crispy chips. Man, it was so good.
So we did a recipe on yours about doing a skirt burger. Did you do it like on a flat top, or
No.
what you do it on?
So we had done like the little cheap disposable pie pans. I cooked my cheese completely separate and then dumped it on the
Oh.
burger. That way you still had that crust, because like I did at the
Like
time,
a tin pan of pie
Yeah.
crust comes in.
I didn't have a flat top.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out some way to replicate that, and it worked really good. While I was cooking my burgers, I just put the pie pan off to the side, away from the coals. Time I got done cooking the burgers, the cheese was good and bubbly. I slid it over the coals, browned it up, threw it on top of
Like shredded cheese in the pie pan.
It was as cheap comes.
Really?
But it was good. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a good burger, especially if you didn't have the flat top, because you can't do that on grill grates, or you can't do it on a grill, period.
Yeah.
And this kind of gave you that option, and it was way more cheese than that burger needed, but it was good.
So you can do it on an iron skillet, I bet.
Yeah.
That'd work good.
Yeah, if you had like a non-stick or a good cast iron skillet, which that cheese shouldn't stick anyway, as much fat's in it. So, but
You just picked it up, put it
dumped
on
it over
top.
it, and as soon as I poured it over it, like the hotter and the quicker you can do it, that cheese is still real pliable, so it just kind of drapes over that bun or over the burger.
Yeah, and then you could spread it and fold it up if you want to or whatever.
It was a good one.
That's a smart
Yeah.
application, you know.
I mean, burger's just a burger, man. It's so good. Like,
They are. You go back to the old traditional burger.
well, so my daddy, when I was a kid, did not like seasoning, period. Like, you was doing good if you got some Lowry's on anything, and it was like a teaspoon, if that. So we kind of persuaded him over the years, but I remember when I was a kid, like, you cooked that burger to dust come out of it. I mean, it was, and I was like, man, I'm not a fan of a burger, you know? But little do you know, if you pull it off like 30 minutes sooner, it's pretty good.
Pretty good. Juicy, yeah. Well, so what grill do you remember cooking burgers on as a kid, or what did y'all have anything?
Oh, yeah. We had my uncle, and I guess it was just my uncle at the time, worked at Dover Elevator. Of course, he was a welder, had metal for days. And they all made, the guys that worked at Dover all made a bunch of grills, and it was just like kind of like a standard overgrown park grill. Had a big dome lid. There was no vents to adjust, no fire. It was just on.
Coals go right underneath
Coals
it?
go right in the bottom. And that's what we grew up cooking on. I mean, I think we still have that grill at our deer camp right
Really?
now. And I mean, this weighs 300 pounds.
Yeah,
It ain't going to rust away. But I remember having that. And then, of course, I think we went through some Home Depot gas grills about every year, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And you had a gas grill, and you had the old bottle of just greasy water beside it to put the fire out every time you cook burgers. But
I remember just the old charcoal grill burger on a Weber. That's just what I remember my dad cooking on.
we never had
And
a
it
Weber
may
when
not
I
have
was a
been a
kid.
Weber. It may never not have been a Weber brand, but it was definitely a kettle grill, you know. But I remember when my mom bought him a Weber one year. I was a kid living in Arkansas then. We got a Weber. I thought that was the coolest thing. We had that Weber forever. It was just the old standard one touch, I guess. I don't know if they called it the one touch back then. But
I can remember
those grills are probably cooked more burgers in the United States than any other grill. Just because there's so many of them in people's backyards,
I can remember it's been years ago. I mean, I was grown, but I mean, it's been several years ago. We was at a buddy of mine's house, and he was going to cook burgers for us. And he went out there and he put them on, come back in, and 15 minutes go by. And I'm like, hey, man, go out there and check on these burgers a little bit. Yeah, I guess I do need to go out there. And he ain't even flipped them yet. They were done. So he flipped it. I was like, okay. And I went in there and told him, I was like, get you something to drink.
It's going to be dry.
Where's the mayonnaise? And about another 15 minutes go by. We go back out there. He said, well, I guess I'm going to put the cheese on it. I'm like, please put something on it.
You turn them into charcoal, right?
Time we got them in there, I mean, I promise you they wasn't much bigger than an Oreo, I mean, it was, oh, man, what do you think about the burger? Man, it's good, man. It's a good burger.
You can't tell them.
Heck no. You got to be nice most of the time.
You ate the chips and dip. I know how that was.
Oh, the chips were moist compared to that burger. It was you appreciate a good medium rare burger for sure.
So y'all have a crawfish workshop coming up next weekend.
Yeah, we do. And that's what we're doing here at the shop here in Hernando. Me and Mark are gonna, I guess we're capping it at 30 people. I don't know if we'll get all 30 or not, but we could do no more than 30 just from the size, and we want to be able to socially distance as much as we need to. But we're going to do our recipes for cooking crawfish, show people how we do it. And really, it's an excuse to eat some crawfish and drink some beer. So.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm batting 1,000. I've had crawfish every weekend since we decided.
Since crawfish season?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you going to have it this weekend?
I'm going to figure out a way.
You got to cook 2 sacks tomorrow.
I got to cook 2 sacks, but that ain't counting because I can't eat all those.
Yeah.
But I've had fun. I mean, we were talking about that the other day. When we first started cooking crawfish together, I mean, we had a solid recipe, but it ain't remotely close to what we're cooking now.
No. Every time you get flavor in them. And once you learn how to do that, control your pots, and you learn how to soak them and what it actually does when you put certain ingredients in there and the flavor you get to them and how clean the crawfish turn out.
I mean, that's been the biggest thing too, is I remember cooking years ago when we used to have our little crawfish party, we'd cook 4 or 5 sacks. And by the time you got to that 4th sack, your water was brown.
Yeah.
And we thought we were cleaning them,
Putting the salt on them and filling them up with water.
Now, I never did do the salt. I never did. We always just had 2 closed baskets with holes in them. We'd slosh them around, pour the water out. And
that's what we used to, or I'd use a strainer in the pot.
But it's funny because, we've done that video together this year on my channel, and, you always get the comments, that ain't how you do it, this ain't this. I'm like, man, it's crawfish. That's a open, canvas for whatever you want to do. I mean, cook a crawfish you like, but I learn something every time I see somebody else do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch a ton of crawfish videos, and it's never a video that I was like, man, that's a pretty good idea, And you always bring in little ingredients you see from other people, bring it to your pot and make it your own,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've learned a ton. And we still learn. The crawfish we cooked last year aren't the crawfish we cooked this year.
That's right. These this year have been excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the flavor, from having it all in the tail and then the juices in the head, that's where the flavor's at to me. And once you get that right and you don't overcook them, they're mushy and they tail out. You don't even have to pull the little first section off. You can just, bite them, squeeze them. They come right out of the tail. That's when they're perfect.
Those I cooked last weekend has been the best ones this year. And a lot of it, too, they were the perfect size crawfish. They wasn't little bitty and they wasn't huge ones.
Yeah, I don't like the monster ones.
No.
I mean, everybody says, oh, look how big these are. You don't want those.
You can't peel them.
Shell so hard on them.
You don't get no flavor in them.
Juice out of the head. You see that video the dude was doing on TikTok the other day? Was just eating the crawfish whole. He cooked a pot of crawfish, and he just ate shell and all.
Nope.
Head
This is how you
all?
eat them. Head started with the head and claws. That's the first thing he put in his mouth. He just chewed them up. Didn't even spit it out.
Crunchy.
That ain't the part that bothers me. It's the next part that's coming that's going to bother me with that shell.
Oh, man. Yeah, imagine what that does to your insides, man. It's got to, I can't imagine. There ain't enough stuff in you to break that down, I wouldn't think. It's got to come out.
That shell survives in some of the worst environments.
Yeah.
It's going to survive one more time.
Oh, man.
I know one thing. It'll clog a garbage disposal up real quick.
It does, don't it? Yeah. Nothing worse than that.
How do you know that, Shell?
You know, that's the worst part about crawfishing to me is dealing with
The aftermath.
the aftermath. Yeah, all the shells and everything that's left over. And man, you talk about it when it starts like right now in the springtime, it's still cool at night. It ain't that bad, but let it get up here another month and we still got crawfish and it's 80 degrees at night. And it starts festering in those garbage cans. You got to haul it off. You got to do something with it.
At my old job, we had a big crawfish party, and it was May. It was getting toward the late of the season, and I got a 55-gallon drum with a clamp-on lid. And I told them, I was like, "This is what we're putting all the crawfish in. We're putting the lid on it. We're sealing it shut." I said, "I'll haul it to work, put it in our big dumpster. We don't have to worry about it." So we did. So it was 5-6 sacks of crawfish heads and tails in this drum. Put the lid on it, sealed it shut, threw it in the back of my truck. That was on Saturday. Monday, take it to work, roll it out of my truck into the big dumpster. Well, I didn't pay any attention. I mean, it's 100 degrees outside in Memphis. I mean, it's hot. A couple of days go by, they forgot to pick up our dumpster. So it goes another week. No big deal. So when they do that, we take an excavator and smush all the garbage down to make more room.
Compact it.
Yeah. So our shop was probably 50 or 60 yards from this dumpster. And I see the yard guy out there, and he's smushing. I never thought about it. About that time, he comes out of the excavator, and he's like, "It's something dead in this dumpster."
He thought there's a body in there, didn't he?
He done busted that drum.
Oh, man.
And I'm pretty sure it done blowed up like a balloon in that drum, you know.
It was under pressure.
And we were sitting there, and I looked at the guy that went to the crawfish party with me. I was like, "That's it." Like, you could smell it. Like, as soon as he done 50 yards, it was like on us. And I was like, "Man, what is that smell?" And I'm like, "I don't know what it is out there.
I don't know what that is.
I have no idea."
Who would have done that?
Yeah.
Who would have put a bunch of crawfish?
You could not put anything dead in that dumpster smelt that bad. It was so bad.
Oh, man. There's nothing worse.
Now, you had the
seafood. I tell you what, we used to go pick up at Off the Dock Seafood in Memphis. And you'd have to go around back sometimes to go up into the will call thing.
We were picking up pork.
Yeah. But I guess they would, whatever they were cutting fish or the remains, or if they had something go out or anything went wrong, went in this dumpster out back. Man, I've never smelled none of that. I don't know how you can work there around it. There ain't enough money in the world for me to work around that dumpster, let alone empty it or something.
Even on the inside, you could smell it.
Yeah,
you know?
it was
Can you
bad.
imagine like going home and smelling like
Oh,
that?
no, you couldn't get it out. I mean, those guys must get immune to it or something.
Didn't you have the garbage people like say they wasn't gonna pick your garbage up that year?
Yes.
After we cooked crawfish at your house.
So we did one, but you know, you got the rollout dumpsters at home, but we had bought like it wasn't a 55-gallon one, but it was a little rollout one. It was like a mini rollout one that had a lid that come off. So we packed.
The plan was just to, fill that one up and then pull the bag
out and then put it over in the big one so they'd pick it up. Well, we filled it up so much, it was just to the top. I don't know how much crawfish we cooked, but all of it went in there. And so we said, we'll roll this out to the end of the street and, they'll pick it up. And no, they won't pick that up. And so it's set out there for
They left us a note.
They left us a note saying they wouldn't pick it up.
What do we end up doing with that?
We picked it up and dumped it over in two of us got a hold of it and dumped it over in the regular garbage. And that was a disaster. That thing was
There's been several times we did the drive-by Walmart dumpster. Like, pull behind Walmart. All right, nobody's looking. Dump it.
Oh, Malcolm
good dumpsters are to find, man. You find your good secret spot.
Malcolm used to hit up the car wash.
Well, I mean, so I didn't want to put all. I mean, when you're doing contests every week, you end up with all this trim,
and it's the worst.
Then it gets rotten in your house. I mean, I've had buzzards circling the house before. You got in June and July contests. It gets hot out there, and you got those meat trimmings in there, and the garbage picks up on Tuesday. You trim meat on Wednesday, so it's got to make it a week. It is rotten. So I learned, you probably need to find a friendly dumpster that don't mind a little extra. They pick up those more regularly than they do my house, I guess.
You hope they do. You told yourself they did.
I like how he says friendly dumpster that don't mind.
I know somebody used to use a city park. That's plumb terrible.
A city
to do
park?
That. Yeah.
Oh, man.
They'd have the big dumpster like where you walk into the gate of the city park.
I have. Oh man,
I have somebody that's done
I have
that
put
too.
like a deer carcass in the trash can at the car wash before. we just cleaned it, got all the meat off of it. It was just
yeah. You lucky you didn't make the news.
Just put it off in the car wash garbage can.
Can you imagine somebody
Poor guy.
that?
Yeah.
Old hoof hanging out the top.
Yeah. Oh, it was. The head was still on it. Hoofs up.
Yeah, you're gonna get banned on that one.
That's probably why they add cameras to car washes now. People don't throw trash. It was in my truck. I was cleaning my truck out, getting ready to wash it. I just had to get rid of it.
How long has it been in your truck?
I don't know, weekend. It would. I mean, I just didn't have. I mean, I guess I could have found a hole or something, dump it off in somewhere. But I'd cleaned it in my driveway. It was one of those where we rigged up the deer cleaning rack and it was like an old tent frame, like those pipe tents.
Oh, yeah.
We got us a winch and we made it to where we could back up the truck and winch them up in the driveway and clean them right to the neighbors and all watching. Not at our current house. This was
No, that probably wouldn't go over there.
That was actually my mom and dad's driveway.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever did that.
We always make a good impression on neighbors.
We always did. I don't need neighbors too close.
So y'all have been doing a new thing called Out the Smoke. We've talked about it on the podcast before, but it's been a while.
Yeah, how many deep are we in now? Have we released 8 of them, Tyler?
Oh yeah,
Or more?
we're on 12.
We're on
Yeah.
12.
And
Wow.
you've got 4 more fixing to release, about to release.
We've been doing 4-month mark.
I think so.
We pick one day a month and we'll knock out 4 of them, and it's kind of a way to have fun. That's the way I look at it.
I enjoy it. It's something different.
It's not cooking. It's more reviews or takes or
Full Malcolm or
So,
whatever
yeah.
we can come up with. It's that we think's fun to do.
So one y'all did was a sous vide test. Sous vide versus
Oh yeah, that was the
Chargo
full.
steak.
That was the full me. He couldn't do it.
couldn't do it.
So what's the
You
deal with that one?
gonna try that one again or something?
I mean, I think
you can pick them out. It ain't just me.
Yeah, no, I picked it out then. It wasn't, and it too. To give the benefit of the doubt to the sous vide is like A, steaks don't cook the same anyway, and B, I think we could have went longer on because that steak. Like I've had a sous vide steak sometimes, and you're like, man, that's pretty tender. That one never got tender, like at all.
It was just a Kroger steak.
Yeah.
Too. It wasn't fancy.
I mean, it wasn't a bad steak. It was still good. I wouldn't turn it down.
So
But
the deal was you sous vide a steak
Mhm.
and then finished it on the grill, and then Malcolm just did a regular char grill steak.
no, I
You
cooked
cooked
both of them.
I didn't
Malcolm
see it.
left, and
yeah, I didn't get to see them. It was like kept me. I went to work,
yeah.
and then,
Everybody's like, oh, he was just behind the camera. No, legit, Malcolm left. Like he was gone. So,
then I came back when it was time to try.
and I
'em.
even picked the better of the two to sous vide.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean the sous vide steak was good. I can just tell a difference.
I could take
And then
the
one
time
that's
too.
been cooked the whole way over charcoal.
I think
it's a
vacuum.
texture. It's a texture thing.
I think vacuum sealing kills it. I think if you were to just drop it in a bag and get it in the water and get the air out, it would do a lot better.
Have you done that before?
Mm-mm.
Really? You always vacuum seal them?
Well, I think vacuum sealing is just kind of like
Some people just pin them and kind of hang
right,
them over.
just let them hang. I think you run into a situation where that vacuum on that meat that long is pulling stuff out. It has to. I mean, it's in
pressure
a,
on
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
could
not
you
a
do it-
natural state for that steak to be in.
Could you do it without pulling? Without doing it tight.
You could. I think you're better off just like you were talking about. If you just let the water push all the air out and just let it sink and then clip it on the side of the bowl or whatever
Where it
container.
can't get in it.
Yeah,
And that's how most people do them, right?
it would do better. Yeah,
I don't know in a restaurant setting if they actually seal them or not. Do you,
I think they do.
you ever seen them do it, Tyler, in a steakhouse?
No, I have not. Not sous vide.
Yeah.
But-
I imagine. I don't know how they do it, but I imagine they got them in there circulating some kind of way.
As far as looks, you couldn't tell them apart.
No?
Doneness, I thought would be like the dead giveaway. I thought you definitely like sous vide was going to be a perfect cook, but they were both identical.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you still, even though you're already at that temp, you're still having to leave it on that grill a little bit longer because I wanted to get the same grill marks to where you couldn't tell them apart. And I mean, they both look exactly the same.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. There's a place for sous vide. I ain't like diehard against it. I just don't think it's as good as
No.
a steak that's been charred the whole time over some good coal.
yeah,
When you're in a
I mean,
restaurant,
And you're
gonna
cooking a ton of steaks.
when you're in a restaurant, you're gonna choose the char grilled over the sous vide
Oh,
any
yeah.
day. Yeah.
and
I
I
don't make it a point to ask them. I can tell when I order it if they've done it, but
Based on the menu.
yeah.
and I think too.
I mean, not based on the menu, just
Just
kind of
once you
on the
receive
texture of
it,
the steak.
yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say like it's great for a thicker cut, like if you're doing a big 2-inch tomahawk or something. But to me, man, it's not going to be the reverse sear. Like you
Yeah.
put it on that pit at 200 and just let it come up slow. You're doing the exact same
Yeah,
thing.
that's right.
I mean,
I see why people want to do it. It's a controlled way for them to
Now,
nail the
chicken-
doneness.
chicken's excellent.
And to me, where it really shines is the lesser cuts
Yeah.
too. Like you take a cheap like old flat iron or something, you put it in sous vide and cook it to where it's tender as a fillet.
Now, I've done a
You're not
brisket.
gonna be able to do that on a grill. You know, you've done a brisket. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did you do a brisket in sous vide?
72 hours.
We might need to do that. I know that's not. I mean, it's out the smoke because it's in the water.
We in the
Let's
water
see what a
today.
72-hour brisket would be like compared to
Now, granted, that
show
was
up with the full-blown smoked brisket. So we have a fully cooked smoked brisket the way we do them, and then we bring out the sous vide. And then what do you do at the end? So you just
so that
char
was
it up.
well. See, that was the. I don't know how you do that because that was a medium rare brisket, 72 hours. I said
Well,
it.
I just want to compare the difference. Of like this is how we barbecue brisket. This is how you'd smoke one,
yeah.
and this is how one would be sous vide. You could cook it to a different doneness or whatever. Do they eat good? I mean, is there what's
This
it
was
like? What's the
a-
comparison like? That's
This was an
interesting.
A9 from Kevin that I had a flat that I can't remember if I used the point. I can't remember how I ended up with just a flat, but I had just a flat and trimmed it up like normal, like removed most of the fat and put it in a vacuum seal bag, put butter, rosemary, garlic, shallots, like anything that would be good on beef in it, vacuum sealed it, dropped it in there, put it in a cooler, put the lid on it. And I think it was
3 days later.
3 days later, I think, because I done it for Christmas and then pulled it out, patted it dry, let it rest for a minute, and then put it on a PK with no grates and just charred it, flipped it a few times.
So you just got some brown and some color on
Mm-hmm.
the outside once it was done.
What color was it when you pulled it out? Gray.
Oh, it was
Horrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, like grayish tan. Now the inside was still perfect medium rare. Like I sliced it and it was red through and through.
Was it like because the fat don't break down, right?
The fat gets to where it doesn't look like it's rendered, but it has the texture that it's rendered. If that makes sense. Like you know how a lot of times like on the edge of a steak, how that really good fat's almost translucent. It doesn't get that translucent as much, but it still melts. Like as soon as it touches your tongue, it melts. And that could be a lot to do with A9 too, though.
Yeah.
So, but it was as tender as a filet. It was packed full of flavor. It didn't have a lot of grill or smoke. I mean, it had a little bit, but it was a really, really good prime rib. You know, I would consider it
So it ate more like prime rib,
Yeah.
doing it like that.
an overgrown filet. I mean, you could literally cut it with a spoon.
Really? I'd like to do that with
I
like a
didn't
choice
think
one.
about that.
See what a choice one turned out.
We could do it.
Or have you done a chuck roast sous vide and see what it did?
Mm-mm. Jay has. Jay Durbin. He's
Yeah.
done a couple of them, he said.
Does he
So
grill them at the end?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He does a medium rare, and he said it was good. I mean, it like you say, it has its place. Is it going to compete with a regular grilled steak? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ribeyes too good. Just
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just
ribeye.
something. I think it's just kind of a fad. People like playing with it.
It's something to do. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the reason
If
we
you
got
can
10
run
or
a
12
grill-
smokers. We like
yeah,
them all.
That's right.
one other thing y'all did was the pineapple tenderizing steak.
Oh yeah, where we took was those ribeyes we did? We did 3 different methods of tenderizing. Like,
Yeah,
one
it
was
was
a
ribeyes.
control. We didn't do anything to. One we did a salt test on. Put it in salt, rinsed it off, and the other one I pureed pineapple, like fresh pineapple, and we put it in there. And
It was ribeyes.
I don't remember how long we let them sit. That's been a while.
It was an hour.
Was it 1 hour each
Yeah,
one?
45 minutes or an hour.
And then we washed it all off, and then we cooked them all the same. And the pineapple steak was noticeably more tender. I mean, the pineapple worked on
Yeah.
the meat.
It did taste a
But it
little
gives
bit
it
like
a little
pineapple.
sweet flavor.
I didn't
Yeah.
like it
You didn't
just
like the
because
sweetness?
of the pineapple and the steak.
The
Flavor.
salt
The
one was
flavor,
tender
yeah.
and had the most beef flavor, but it would get salty on you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the control was plain.
So I seen where the Guga food guy,
Yeah.
he done carbonated water, and he said it was more tender than pineapple or anything he's ever used.
Really?
And
Like,
it was
like poured it straight out of the
Mhm.
bottle.
straight carbonated water, no flavor, no nothing. Put it in a thing, covered it, and like literally once he covered it, it was just like bubbling the whole time. Just bloop, 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 bloop.
Working on that.
Mhm. But he said, I mean, everybody come back and said that was the most tender.
We got to try it.
Yeah, try it.
We got to try it.
That would be a good out the smoke.
Yeah.
He does. I tell you, he does some pretty sharp stuff that like
Oh yeah.
thinks
Yeah.
way outside the box and it works.
He's always doing experiments. Yeah.
He's the one that did those eggs you like. You
Mhm.
want to try the grated, cured egg.
Cured eggs.
Yeah.
I want to do that so bad. Still hadn't done it.
The other one you did, or you cooked ribeyes on a salt block.
That was a
I
hit.
was really
I
impressed
liked
with the
it.
salt block. I was expecting it to be salty,
Mhm.
and it wasn't at all. In fact, I think it needed a bump when we did it because you didn't season any salt on it.
We just
because-
put steak and chop.
yeah, and then we did another one against it to see what it was like, and the salt block one it got such a much
crust was so
sear on it.
good.
That's what made it so good. It was better than a cast iron sear to me.
And two, with that salt,
I agree. Yeah.
it's really hard for anything to stick to it, because the whole time it's cooking, it's gradually eroding that salt away. So it's pulling it off. So it really, I mean, I've had one, like we done one at the house where we put a little bit of rub, I had sugar in it, and it did stick. But if you go straight, nothing, no sugar, salt, pepper, garlic, nothing else, it's such a good crust. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it puts as good a sear on it as cast iron does. I was impressed with that. I didn't know how it was going to work. I've never used one of those, but for cooking a steak on it on a grill, man, that was good. We did that on that little PK Go, didn't we?
It got hot.
Because we reviewed that too.
It got real hot.
Was that one of our first reviews? I don't remember.
Yeah. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
We sacrificed the table for that video.
It bubbled the table, didn't it?
So I carried the
That's what happened to that table. I knew
Yeah.
we had another table around here.
It wasn't me.
It didn't ruin it. Like, you can still use the table. It just
It's just
bubbled.
textured. It won't roll off that side.
Yeah, I think we've still been using it.
So we took the salt block home that weekend after that, and that's when we had those Japanese A5s. And I used it to sear those. And little dummy me, I was like, well, I'll just put the salt block over my gas eye on my stove. And, it's got like a tray in it. So I was like, this be fine. Had a grease fire. Like, I didn't realize my salt block had a small little crack in it. So all that A5 grease was just running through that crack right on the burn. I'm like, I smell something. And I slid it back and I was like, holy crap.
It was on fire.
But it seared that A5 though, like really
Did you
good.
cut it, did you sear it as a whole steak or did you cut it in strips?
Cut it in
sear
strips and
one?
done individual.
Yeah.
And it was pretty neat to do it that way. It was good.
Yeah.
That's so.
That's a good application for that salt block.
We did. What did we do? It's on the story when I did that Japanese A5. I did it on
we
the
made
egg.
a video and put it on like IGTV.
Yeah. So I did it on the egg in the same way, but I seared it on the outside as a whole piece of steak and then we cut it up. I tried it like that. It was good. But what shined is when you took it inside and put it on the cast iron and just hit to get some sear on the actual, each little individual strip.
And
Man,
pop it with a pinch of salt.
God, it was so good. It would hurt you. You'd get sick eating it. I mean, it was.
We did.
We did. Yeah.
No, I called you
can't
that
eat
night. I
that.
said, what are you doing? You're like, laying here. You all right? No. What's wrong with you? We ate that steak.
Okay, it was one steak too. You would not think one steak would hurt a man like me.
Oh, you was
Split three
down.
ways.
What's Shell
Split three
doing?
ways.
She's laying down.
She's laying down too.
Oh, I was eating yogurt. I was doing all
Anything
kinds
you
of stuff.
think
Y'all were drinking pickle juice, I called.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Got some pickle juice trying to. It was.
I like it. It's a good one
You
time
only need
thing.
an ounce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go to a restaurant and you see it and you want to try it, just get an ounce.
Yeah.
Don't get the steak. Don't spend the money and
To me, you're losing so much of that meat flavor.
it don't
It's-
taste like steak.
No, it don't taste like steak at all. And I'm like Shell, like it's the best bone marrow
Yeah.
taste you can get.
That's kind of what. That's the best way to describe it. Really. It has that richness of
Yeah.
it, to where it's just. It's basically meat or fat that's got meat strands in it.
Yeah.
It's not meat with fat strands.
Now I'd have to say, well, that night we cooked a dry aged steak. We cooked the Australian A9 ribeye, and then we cooked that. That A9 was so good.
The
Just
ribeye.
Yeah, the ribeye.
the Australian A9.
And I mean, it was marbled up good, but you still had that good beef, good steak flavor, and man, it was hard to beat that.
It's still hard for me just to get away from a good American certified Angus beef brand or good prime, different, like Creekstone or
Yeah.
something like that steak. I
You get it's more beef flavor.
That's the essence. That's the beef that I know. I mean, the Wagyu stuff's great. Don't get me wrong. It's good, but it just don't really compare to like when you think of you're eating a piece. To me, steak dinner is like American as it gets,
Yeah.
But when you go to add these other ones, it's just something different about them. There's a little different flavor. I mean, it's good, but it's not the same.
We I guess it was the other night, we were going to do chicken fried rice. And I had that grill of flat top, we were cooking on it. And I was like, man, I got them Denver steaks. And they were huge. They were beautiful. Seasoned them with a little bit of salt, put them on there, and like didn't even give them any attention. Just was like doing other things. I flipped them, checked them. They were about 120, pulled them off. No big deal. Cut them up, had them off the side. Well, Emily just come in from work. She walked by and she grabbed one, threw it in her mouth, and she was halfway across the kitchen and she stopped in her tracks. She's like, what is that? And I said, that's Denver cut. She's like, that's it. Like she said, that's so good. And she's like, she likes ribeyes, but she don't like them as much as I do. She'd rather have a filet or something like that. And she went back. She was like, that's the best I've ever ate. And
So was that Australian?
Mhm.
It was.
But it's kind of like a flat iron. It's got more of that beefy note, almost like a sirloin.
Yeah.
it's like the best of both worlds, and it's
a shoulder cut, right? That's where it comes from too. That's how I guess how the chuck.
It's. I really don't know.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. It's cut out of the shoulder.
It's like the very front portion, like right in front of the short ribs. Ain't it? It's between the shoulder and short rib, I think.
And that would be kind of that chuck area up there.
But
I've got some of those that I need to cook in the freezer too.
You also did one on how to trim St. Louis style spare ribs. A little tutorial there.
I think that's something that's helpful. I think we take that for granted. Because, I mean, there's a ton of questions out there as far as how to take a whole spare, cut it down,
I mean,
the
you
benefits
can
to
cook it just whole.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
a
like
good
it that
rib.
way, yeah. Salt, pepper.
That's old school ribs.
Mm-hmm.
You cook them with the breastplate still attached, the rib tip still on it. That's old school.
You got to have coals underneath it, a little vinegar.
Yeah. You got to have a mopping sauce. You got to have some redskin sausages on the grill beside it.
Couple half chickens.
Yeah, some half chickens. But no, the one reason why I wanted to show that is because it's a way for people to save money. Because you can buy those whole spare ribs cheaper than you can the St. Louis cut ones. Plus, you get the whole rib tip that are great for, I love smoking those right along with them. And they're good.
Beans.
Yeah, they're great for all kinds of stuff. I mean, you can use them to season stuff. They're great to eat. I like just cooking them whole like a slab of ribs and then putting a cleaver on them, chopping them into about, 2 or 3 inch pieces. And that's a good eating piece of meat. You got to deal with the little cartilage, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's juicy and tender.
There's a lot of good stuff around that cartilage.
Yeah, you don't mind picking at it, which I don't.
Gnawing on it.
Yep. Beats pig feet.
You don't know that yet.
You don't know that yet.
Know that yet.
But I think that would be a safe assumption.
But that was a good little quick demo we did on how to break those down. Take the membrane off of them, all that good stuff. We did another one. We raced to take the membrane off. We aired that one.
That was the next one.
Is that one dropped?
Who won?
I can't tell you.
I already know who won.
You know Mark won. I don't do anything fast. Like I'm racing.
He was upset about it. He kept calling me Minute Man after that.
You're not known for your speed.
I'm not known for my speed. I'm a low and slow guy. You can look at me and tell. Nobody ever said, look at that guy. He looks fast.
That is a pretty good one there.
Yeah.
Y'all also did a thing about how to take care of your wood cutting boards, which is very important. A lot of people, I mean, I didn't know how to take care of a wood cutting board.
No, but that cutting board I did that demo with was the one you gave me for Christmas when we first started doing videos, probably 12 years ago or longer. I don't know how it's been 11 years.
Yeah.
That's how old that board is, and I've taken care of it that same way. I never really, put any kind of chemicals, cleaners on it. I just wash it off with good warm water and use salt and lemon and scrub it, recondition it with the board oil. I mean, it's super easy to do if you'll just take the time to put your board up. I do know this. I will say, do not leave a cutting board like that outside overnight, especially if it's going to rain, because we had one of ours. Now, I don't know. That was one someone maybe have given me, or I don't know how we got it.
And I used it to take pictures. Like I'd put products on it and take product pictures of.
But it stayed out overnight on the bar. And then we went
like a sponge.
Well, we went out of town for the weekend, and we come back, and it was like warped and split, and it done went through. It looked like hell. It was
I made the mistake of like doing the normal cleaning process, but I didn't think I had a towel on my counter, and I just laid it on the towel to let it sit out.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize the moisture in that towel, and it pulled all of it out and ruined the bottom of that board. You don't see it on the top.
You gotta give it some air to even when I oil them, I try to put it on something where it's going to have some airflow underneath it.
Shish kebab sticks.
Yeah, those
really
work
good.
great. Yeah, anything you can do to kind of stack.
No metal, because I got a ring on the bottom of mine. I put it on one of those little pot caddies. Just hold it up, and it put a rusted ring all the way around it.
I try not to wash it as much as possible. I only wash it as needed. Wipe it down real good. But if you don't put anything raw on it ever.
Yeah. And I don't want wood. I mean, wood board's not for raw trimming to me. It's for finished products.
But if you just cut a couple steaks on it, I'll just take it in and wipe it down real good.
Yeah. A lot of that meat juices gets in there too.
Yeah.
It seasons it.
The best thing you can do for boards is break down some butts on them. Then wipe all that juice, man. It'll be conditioned good.
Best thing you do for cast iron is cook sausage balls on them.
Yeah, sausage balls in cast iron pan. It'll season one awesome.
What was your favorite Out the Smoke video, Shell? You're asking all the questions. I'm going to turn it around.
You know which one I liked? And is the grill grates on the air fryer?
That's what I was
That's
fixing
what
to
I was
say.
say that too.
That's what I was fixing to say.
I thought it was a great video just because y'all were kind of having fun with it, but also the pork chop
I
turned
was
out really
shocked
good.
at how good those
Pork
were.
chop was good.
I was like, this ain't gonna work. You know, you couldn't do this. You could get some grill marks on something inside. I mean, it ain't gonna taste like it's charcoal grilled, but it's pretty
It's a
dang
good pork
good.
chop.
Yeah.
And I don't think the video showed as much as like how hot we could actually get those grates. Like we could have left a lid on it and they even got hotter, you know. And once we cooked on it, we cooked them other couple and they really put better grill marks on it.
It's because that was a brand new. You got to cook on a set of grill grates a few times. You got to get them seasoned, just like anything. So once you get them going, we need to go back, revisit that, and cook a steak in it.
And we can do it.
See what it tastes like.
I'm not going to turn it down. I think that gives you a chance too if you are going to do something. Like if you know for a fact I'm fixing to cook in a air fryer, adjust your seasoning. You know, add a little bit more pepper and a little more garlic, and it'll pick up a few more flavors. And
Yeah,
I mean, it's not going to taste like it's on charcoal, but it's going to be better than most. It'd be better than George Foreman for sure.
I guess that's just a whole craze thing. People are into the air frying.
Well, I mean, you got to look how many people
It's
might
easy.
live in a duplex or apartment or something that don't have a grill. I mean, that's better than not cooking, you know.
And I guess if they don't have a stove, because
Yeah.
So if I was going to cook a steak inside, I'm not going to run to my air fryer. I'm going to get my cast iron skillet out on top. I'm going to sear it, butter it, do that, then throw it in the oven and let it come up slow. That's how I'm going to do it.
That does create a lot of smoke. Did the air fryer create a lot of smoke?
No,
Not really.
no. But I mean, it's convenient because it's countertop and it's all right there. Like when you sear on cast iron, you better have some ventilation inside. Or you're going to smoke. You're going to set the fire alarms off. I've done it.
Several times.
Several
Box
times.
fan in the window.
Yeah. Let it draw it out. But there's something to be said about old filet seared on cast iron and then finished off in the oven.
The last one I'm gonna ask you about is the dry age test. So
That was
how did that work?
That was a fail.
I would not do that. That's a waste of a good piece of meat. I mean, take it. I'm just not a fan. It's like the soup. I'm not a fan of dry age, Mark. Are you?
I've had it to where I'm like, that's pretty good. Like I've done like a ribeye, like a certified Angus beef, like 6-bone cut ribeye, and it was good. Now, was it good enough for me waste 30 days and do all this? And
Even at a steakhouse, are you going for the dry age option or are you going for?
I don't know that I ever paid attention.
I'm not paying for somebody to dehydrate my meat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all they're doing. They're just letting it
killed
age
that
out.
loin.
And
It
I mean,
killed
they
that
say,
beef
oh,
loin.
it intensifies the flavor because it's breaking down. No, you're letting it dry out. You're taking moisture out of it.
There was no comparison of those two fillets. No
I don't think so
comparison.
either.
I mean,
That was just a.
and to
Kroger
me, the
filet,
texture
yeah.
wasn't that good on it.
No.
I just,
No, it was like turkey.
I don't
an
think you
extent.
had, and two, I'm no professional dry ager. Like, I'm sure we'll get shamed for that. I don't
yeah.
mean, we were just doing what we thought. Hey,
This
let's
is
try
what
it.
direction said do.
And it just wasn't.
It ain't for me.
Mm-mm.
It ain't for me at all. Dry aging, you can have that.
Now, I think, if
I
you
like a good 30-day wet age
Yeah.
in the cryovac, letting it loosen up a little bit. But I don't feel like I'm losing moisture at that point.
I mean, that
I
filet
feel
had
like it's
zero
picking up. I
moisture.
figure like it's getting more tender is what a wet age does. I didn't feel like the dry age makes it more tender.
How much meat did once you pulled it out of the dry age bag? How much did you have to trim off of it?
Half of it.
Half of it.
I mean,
so you
I
lose
would- I
half
would
just right out
say
the gate
You're at 30 or 40% loss. No problem.
That's why
before
they
you
charge
ever
so much
cook.
for it.
Mm-hmm. And see, we left that beef loin whole to try to prevent, to try to give it as much cushion as we could. So when we did trim that pellicle meat or whatever that's called off, we wasn't losing much. And I mean, some of that got in there pretty deep. I mean, we were shaving off 1/8 inch, of meat.
I definitely wouldn't do it for
A tenderloin.
tenderloin.
Heck
Yeah,
no.
maybe a big roast, like
I think-
rib roast or something. But I just wouldn't do it.
People,
It ain't worth it.
I think the people that like it are the people that like that strong blue cheese flavor. To me, cook a good steak and make you a blue cheese sauce.
Yeah.
Like do something else. Like I'm not.
The trade off ain't there.
Uh-uh.
And for me, it's not. Give me a regular 30-day wet aged beef.
Watch that new Guga video.
Does he do an aged one too?
He done it with a Japanese fungus, and I don't know what it was.
He applied a fungus to a
Mm-hmm.
piece of meat and let it.
And he done like a week,
it
2
dry?
weeks, and a month.
A
And
dry?
they spit the month one out. They were like,
Can't do it. It's rotten.
oh, it was. I mean, it looked terrible. I mean, it was like
green and fuzzy.
black and
I see. Yeah, that ain't-
Was it a dry application or a wet application?
dry. And it just,
just put some bacteria on there.
Yeah.
Ain't doing it.
What were the last 4 you guys did that haven't been released?
Well,
pull
we
the
did
membrane.
pull the membranes. We did lump and just not really the differences in lump and briquettes and where we use them and why.
We get a lot of questions on that
Yeah.
for guys starting out.
We
you know?
did the vortex.
Yeah.
Kind of explained what it was. So the day we filmed these, we'd rescheduled because we were supposed to. It's hard in spring because of rain. We were going
We
to
had
go
a
outside.
hurricaneator that day.
Yeah, we were going to go outside and kind of show how the vortex works and all that stuff and the charcoal burn times, but we didn't get to do it. We can always revisit some of that.
Yeah.
Well, basically, we're just kind of explaining what the vortex was, what lump and briquette charcoal are, what a drum smoker is. We pulled out one of the our gateways and kind of went over how it works and why it works and talk about building a drum, things like that. So we got 4 good ones. They're more educational.
Yeah.
Educational.
Did you do that
They're more educational. They're more educational.
We made the world's largest vortex. That was
We did.
stacked
How?
all 3 of them together. It's a very big vortex.
We made a smelter. We're gonna see how hot we can get with those. I bet we can make it glow.
Oh yeah,
In stages.
that'd be neat. But I mean, that
You can
was
stack that up in a drum and then fill it up.
not if you want to keep the paint on your drum. You won't. Yeah, let's do yours.
Yeah.
We'll try yours.
We'll do one of those old ones.
But no, it was a.
So
They
you
were-
stack like small, medium, large?
Yeah.
Okay.
Large, medium, small. And it made it like a
Yeah, you put a whole
Looked like a
20-pound bag of
science
charcoal in it. Like
it looked like a science project. And it would get once it got hot,
you could see
it'd
her.
be rocking. Yeah. You have
You could see her.
definitely it'd probably burn right through the grill grates if you set them over it.
Oh yeah, you don't want aluminum over
But
top.
see,
of
that's
that.
not really radiating much heat. It's all forcing it out the top.
I'm pretty sure that one will radiate.
You think it would have a choice to?
That's a bunch of coal.
Yeah.
But the out the smoke is something that I think we get to be more of ourselves in,
Yeah.
and kind of just like me and you right now. And
And try things.
Yeah.
Test things.
I mean, I'm still pushing hey, about once a month, we're going to see if we can fool Malcolm. And it might have to bring
What's
shell
next?
on there, fill it with some mayonnaise. By the way, I'm still offended you won't let me participate in that.
The mayonnaise.
When
yeah,
you
taste
say they might not all be mayonnaise, you've disqualified yourself instantly.
We were driving down the road, and I'm like, Shell just said I can't do that.
I did get her to do the veganese the other day.
It wasn't bad. It
She
really
would-
wasn't.
I don't believe it. I
Did
know.
you
So what's it
try
made from?
I don't
Tyler?
know.
It's basically
Plant-based?
mayonnaise. It's just really without the egg,
So it's soybean oil, some kind of fake egg or something.
palm oil, all that kind of good stuff.
It
So it's
separates.
just oils.
Like in the jar, it just a liquid comes up to the top of it.
Kind of like sour cream.
Yeah, you know, sour cream
You
gets
know
that
what that
liquid
is,
on it.
don't you? That's all the old Chick-fil-A packets that's done separated. And they just
Squeeze them and put
Yeah.
them in veganese. I wouldn't eat it.
It wasn't bad.
Shell could eat it. I'm just not. Vegan lifestyle's not for me. I'm a carnivore. I need my meat. So eating this Impossible meat. Have you ever tried it?
Nope.
Imagine trying to make a hamburger out of cornmeal. That's what it kind of went to in my mouth.
oh, that's a slug burger.
No, no, that's flour. It's different than flour. Corn. You know how cornmeal raw cornmeal kind of gets that gritty flavor all in your mouth. That's the way that Impossible meat it breaks down and it grows. Like you ever seen those snakes that you can light on fire at fireworks time? They just keep growing. That's
They
the way
smell so bad.
From the looks of it, the smell of it, it's fine. But when you put it in your mouth, it's nowhere. It's not good. It's not a good.
You were
experience.
disappointed when you put it in your mouth.
Yeah, I was. I was highly disappointed. Highly disappointed.
You had a bias going in.
I mean, yeah,
He was
it's-
realistic.
It's not meat, but I gave it a try. It was hard to swallow it.
The only thing that's I'm probably gonna get shamed for this. The only thing that I know of in life that is fake but still good is though imitation crab meat.
I thought you were fixing to say boo.
It's not. It's not.
I mean, hold on,
They call it crab. It's really like shark meat or some kind of whitefish usually,
but it's not bad.
or it could be ray. I've heard no, that's what they do with scallops. Yeah, that's not bad.
I seen some the other day.
What about imitation bacon? Have you ever had that, like bacon bits when they used to be on salad bars?
those are
back in the
terrible.
day?
They're like eating rocks.
I'm trying to think of something else, imitation or
Turkey bacon, no go.
Cheese.
I can't go turkey bacon.
What about imitation cheese? Is nacho cheese considered?
Oh, that stuff's
imitation?
great.
I
Yeah,
love it.
I did buy the vegan cheese, and
That was bad.
yeah, I wouldn't. It's just not for me, man. Not for me.
I can't
I'm
remember.
not knocking anybody that likes it or lives off of it. I know why they're pissed, people. I know
Stay
why-
angry.
I know. Eat some real cheese. It'll change your attitude.
Talking about cheese, when me and Emily first got married, she is okay. Backstory on Emily. Y'all probably already know this, but if she goes to the grocery store and there can be 20 brands that are same price, she's gonna buy the one that says great value just because. Like
Even if
they
it's
can
not
be $2 for a block of cheese. I'm buying great value. And I despise it. Like I just give me some cheese, like some good cheese. That's all I ask.
crafts.
Yeah,
You're not even
crafts. I
asking
don't
for
even
something
care.
expensive. Yeah, not out of the cheese.
It can be
market.
singles. I don't care. So we're gonna cook burgers. You know, we just got married, got in our house. I was like, man, we're cooking out. Weather's nice. So she brings some great value sliced cheese. Okay, we'll let it. That'd be fine. Went out there, put it on the burger, closed the lid, went back, got something to drink, come back, opened it. I was like expecting to see melted cheese, and it looked just like it did, like it just squared flat, like it wouldn't melt.
It never drooped.
No, you cannot melt that cheese.
Really.
She's
I
like,
figured
why
it
is
was
this
mainly
cheese like
oil.
this? I'm like, I hope you eat it. Like, that's your cheese.
Think of what it's going to do inside you.
Yeah.
It's coming out the same way. Is Velveeta imitation cheese? 'Cause I like some Velveeta.
Yeah, it don't even have to be refrigerated.
Yeah.
You buy it on the bean aisle over there. Like, it's not even close to the rest of the cheese. That's bad when they
It's
won't
so
even.
good, though. Do you not like
I
Velveeta?
love Velveeta. But you know, when the grocery store won't even put it by the rest of the cheeses,
It doesn't have to be refrigerated. It's
Yeah.
not real cheese.
it's up by
It's
like
a processed cheese product.
they put it by the pasta. So what is it? Is it more pasta? Is it more cheese?
I don't know. It's good stuff. I know that.
Good.
Shell hates Velveeta.
It's okay. It's just not my favorite. But some nacho cheese,
Like the canned stuff.
yes.
They don't refrigerate that.
Mm-mm.
That's definitely fake.
It's got to be.
So Easter weekend's this weekend. What plans do y'all have?
I'm cooking. Mark's cooking all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
What
I
do
got
you
to cook crawfish tomorrow, which is not for me, but we're just cooking them.
Passover crawfish.
Yep. Probably gonna cook some more ribs, get a little bit more practice in.
I'm doing that. I'm cooking. I'm gonna cook some Memphis May ribs on the outlaw patio.
I got one of those big Texas style turkey breast out of the freezer.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do one of them Sunday.
How are you going to do that? Are you doing it Texas style?
I'll
Or are you going to do like a honey glaze?
probably do like a honey glaze, something sweet. And
Yeah.
I tell you, they'll grind and butter. Man, it's good. And then glaze it at the end.
yeah, we'll probably do some kind of like that because I'm cooking it for Mama or Daddy and them, and so
Yeah.
it's Mammy is not gonna eat nothing hot or spicy, so
Gotta keep it
yeah,
sweet.
keep it sweet.
What about salty? Does she do?
Oh yeah,
She'll do some salt.
salt and mayonnaise. I told Shell that was going to be one of the mayonnaise she has to try. So my grandmother does not believe in squirt mayo. She wants to use a spoon. So
Not even a butter knife.
No, she's using a spoon. So when you go to Daddy's and open the mayo, you might find a black-eyed pea. You might find some cornbread. It might be a piece of tomato in there. I bring my own mayo when I go to Daddy's.
Pretty much a salad.
Yes.
In the jar.
I hate that.
And Daddy will like sit squirt mayo beside her. She'll get up. Now she's 94 years old. She'll get up from the table, walk and put the squirt mayo back in the refrigerator and grab her tub.
Jar. You got her own one. You put a label on.
Me too. Don't use this one. If you're a guest, please do not open this.
Or you may be offended.
Yeah. What is
Are you
it?
cooking a ham?
I think Daddy is, I think.
Really?
So I think he's got a little small, like half ham he's going to cook.
We're doing a brisket and ham for our Easter.
That does sound. Oh, the brisket back there.
Yeah.
It's got some age on it. It ought to be good.
It ought to be. But it's been in there 2 weeks. Hey, I like them to go. I like them to go 4 weeks if I know what a pack date is. 2 weeks if I don't.
Yeah.
Or at least till it starts looking bubbly.
No, it'll be really good.
Yeah, it's gonna be real good.
What are you cooking it on?
I'm probably gonna go overnight on pellet grill. It's too easy. We'll put it on about.
I got to cook butch Friday night too.
We'll put it on about noon Saturday to eat Sunday
yeah.
lunch.
We got a couple butts to cook. Or you got some butts on the smoker right now.
Some butts. Yeah, I need to go check out them. They're on right now.
No, I'm going
I'm
to
cooking a ham too. I got to get a ham. And
try to film a video in the morning. I'm going to do the old bacon wrap donut holes.
ooh, are you?
That's a good.
Might as well.
Well, I got we don't have much time in the morning, so I got to do something quick. I'm gonna do it, and I might try to squeeze in one more, try to get ahead because we've been slacking. We've been way behind on videos, but we'll. This afternoon. I gotta clean my pellet grill bad. Like it's been up all winter, just cooking, not touch. It is.
Break it down, cook it, degrease it, everything.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna slide the whole pellet attachment off the side and just get an empty grill and pressure wash it.
There you go.
Slide it back together. Like it's that bad.
How long will that take? How long will it take you to deep clean a pellet grill?
Several hours.
Yeah, you can probably take it if I'm gonna do it this way, because like really the pellet side, there's nothing to get dirty. You just vacuum it out. But man, that cook chamber.
Pull the auger.
Mm-hmm. On the griller, there's 4 bolts. If I'm looking at it right, I should be able to pull basically the hopper and everything off, slide the auger out, and then wash it, and then slide it right back together.
I do not recommend anyone trying that at home.
Yeah, don't pressure wash your pellet grill. But I cranked it up last night. We cooked some chicken on it. I ran it at 500 till it run out of pellets, just trying to like get everything burnt off, and it done pretty good. So it shouldn't be too bad.
So what y'all got coming up next week?
Get ready for the class.
We're getting ready for that crawfish class.
We
That's kind of
have-
what my week's going to encompass. I've got to do some TikTok videos. Me and Tyler are going to do some Wednesday, I think.
Yep.
We've got a couple more to release. What do we got still left to release, Tyler?
Well, today, as we are filming this, the Impossible Burger will go live, and then there will be kind of our director's cut version of that going live probably tomorrow. And
We're supposed to do a Flamin' Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, Flamin' Dr. Pepper, and then we also have the pig's feet.
Yeah, that's going on TikTok. I don't know.
Let's just knock that out today.
Yeah. No, I'm not. No. We're going to come up. I'm vetoing that. We're going to come up with something else. We're supposed to do a deviled egg challenge here at the office. Inner office deviled egg challenge.
What day is
next
that?
week?
Next week.
Yeah,
It's just basically bring your best deviled egg. You think you got egg game? Bring it to work. We're all going to judge.
I can already see
ourselves.
shells over just like, how can I cheat at this one? How can I cheat at this one?
I didn't cheat at the last one.
Tyler said he's going to do the fried deviled eggs.
I've had them.
Ooh.
Are you gonna actually fry them, or are you gonna do the panko where how you gonna do that?
No, I'm actually going to fry them.
Fry them. Hey, I'm gonna do a crawfish boil deviled egg.
That sounds good.
Every ingredient that's in a crawfish boil is gonna be in that deviled egg.
In the egg?
Mhm.
Are you actually going to like boil the egg in crawfish bowl? Save some of that liquid. Use that to boil. I bet that'd be good.
So we'll do that, and probably gonna do it's gonna be like your standard deviled egg mixture, except I'm gonna do like. So do you hear Jamie talking about? I think it was Michael Lehman that done it. Like he can't eat corn on the cob, so he pulls the wrapper off a can of corn, pokes holes in the lid, drops it off in the crawfish bowl, and then he just pours it. I was like, that's genius. So I'm gonna do that and use that corn and kind of like dress it up, and maybe it's like some real
Corn's
small.
going in deviled egg?
It'll be like a couple of kernels on top.
Okay.
It's gonna be like redskin sausage, crawfish tail. It's gonna
I'm
be
just doing a standard.
yeah, okay. I'm not buying that.
It's going to have cream cheese, cream mushroom soup, cheddar
White
cheese.
chicken chili that's not
Nice.
chili in the top.
What else is going in it? Sour cream.
We got a margarita contest coming up. I'll probably lose that.
Yeah, it'd be hard to put white chicken chili in a margarita and win.
I
Good
told y'all what I was doing beforehand. Y'all are just sore losers.
We're
If
not
y'all are
sore
going to get
losers.
upset every time I win a cooking contest, I'm going to
No,
just have to go
we're just
ahead
going to start
and bow
saying
out.
no cheese. No cheese or cream of anything in a recipe.
I'm going to just have to bow out.
All jokes aside, it was really good.
It was, yeah. No
Like
kidding.
I would take a bowl of that right now.
But
Cold
no,
enough.
that's what we got coming up next week.
On that note, Mark, where can they find you?
But she's like, I'm getting the hell out.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm done.
Done with y'all fools.
Yeah, can't even be on the mayonnaise contest. Now she's kicking me out. You can find us at Swine Life BBQ on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, of course. Hadn't got on the Twitter game, or we're on TikTok, but we ain't got nothing on there. But we got friends, we got followers. But
You need to start doing some TikToks.
I know we were
I'm
talking about
loving
that the
them.
other day.
Just start jumping stuff in your side by side, filming that.
That's always a backup plan.
Just get you you need to get you a pit hooked up to the back of it. You tow it around, just see how fast you can tow one.
With it
Sling
cooking.
around. Pull up rock
So the other day, this off subject, I got to
side
tell
by
it.
side grillers.
We cleaned the BFO after we cooked on it. I guess.
That's the big freaking outlaw.
Yeah, the big
Yeah,
outlaw.
There's probably some social pictures of it somewhere.
So we cleaned it, and I put a fire in it good. Well, then that was when I was on the way back up here to bring it back, and put it in the warehouse. So I'm going down the road and I look and you see it just chooching a little smoke every now. I mean, it was like still running 275 going down the road, like dialed in. Got here, it was sitting on like 200. I'm like, let it cool off for a minute.
It's too hot to put in the
Yeah,
shop.
I ain't going to put it in the shop just yet.
Yeah.
But
I'm excited. We do have a new outlaw coming for Memphis in May, and the pictures of it don't do it justice. It's
No.
beautiful.
you can't.
It's got like this candied apple paint. What'd you call it? What'd you call that? It has the flake in it, so you get the sparkle, but it's almost like
It's a
almost
candy
like
apple
candy
red.
apple red. Yeah,
It is.
it's a better looking red than that Townsend trophy over there. That's kind of like fire engine red. It's more of a.
It's
It looks good. It looks really good. It's
Yeah.
like that pig's butt up there. It's about that color.
It's the prettiest pit I've ever seen.
Yeah, I can't wait to win ribs with it.
That would be a good TikTok. Like,
Oh, we
just
got Mojo coming
showing
to film with us
Monday.
next week. Yeah, Monday.
He's
So
showing.
that's-
He's supposed to show us his
I don't know what he's done. I need
award-winning ribs.
to get in touch with him and see what he's planning on cooking.
You're not getting that.
You don't think he's gonna give us that?
No.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if he shows his face and talks.
Yeah, you.
He's getting Jay got he's been warming
starting
up
to show his
it. Yeah,
face.
he warmed up to it on his last video I watched.
I don't forgot what he looked like, and I was like, "Oh, there's Jay."
He still has his hat on, but he kind of had his face down there. He didn't really look at the camera though.
He's slowly revealing
Slowly
himself.
revealing it. He's coming out of that Wilson look.
Over the fence look. So, Shell, where can they find y'all?
You can find Malcolm at HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course YouTube, and now TikTok. You can find me on Miss Southern Shell on Instagram.
Yeah, holla at your boy. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. Then my eyes do not say holler at that boy.
She looks at me crazy.
Yeah. You finna catch a shovel.
Oh, well, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. It's been a lot of fun, Mark. Thanks for coming in.
Appreciate the invite.
Sitting in with us.
Thanks,
and
Mark.
Shell, let's go home and do some Easter cooking, and we're gone.